Hey everyone, how are you today? Good to be back with you again on the Ask Bess show. I'm here every Saturday and Sunday at noon Eastern Time to sit with you, to be with you, to share this time with you, to listen, to hear your concerns, to hear your tips, your thoughts. Let's talk below. Let's keep the conversation going. Today's topic is a message of help, of hope and help for everything in life, for what we're going through right now, for people in their careers, relationships, jobs, health, spiritual concerns, all of that. The specific topic today is tips about network marketing, and I have some cool things to share with you about why this is a special time for network marketing, and also some tips about that. And welcome, Deborah. How are you today? From Atlanta. Welcome from Atlanta. If you're watching the replay, please type in replay because I'd like to thank you for watching, and I do like to hear where you're from. Very glad to be with you all today. So the topic today is specifically network marketing, and I'll get into that in just a minute. Topic for tomorrow is from heaven to hell in a moment. So that's for tomorrow. But got some nice things planned for you today. First of all, most important, my message: you matter. I hear you. I'll respond. You're bigger than any problem that is before you. Every problem has a solution, and you can become a master problem solver, and you don't have to do it alone. I'll help, and there's a lot of other helpers in the world. So very glad that you tuned in today. Now, if I'm going to share with some friends right now, oh, thank you for the likes and loves. Appreciate that. And I'm going to share with some people right now. And if you know someone who could use the message of hope and help, or tips about network marketing, or about their life, it does apply to all. So I'd love if you tag them, shared in another Facebook group that could be watching this live at the same time. Thank you very much for sharing. And I'm just going to invite a few friends right now and let you know a little bit about me, my background. I'm a holistic health practitioner, inner child therapist, neuromuscular therapist, minister, mother, grandmother, surfer, author, speaker on radio shows, co-authors of books and helpful articles, some more books coming out on real conversations. Former network marketer, used to be full-time network marketing for years, helped me raise my son as a single mom. And when my company went out of business, I went into the body-mind field to become a coach and a counselor. And that has been my work for over 30 years. I just love personal growth and helping people to overcome fears, negative beliefs, and blocks and become who they really are. A lot of times that just means being with people, just caring about them, and maybe even helping them find their own solutions, or maybe offering other resources too. I've had a long life, and so I have some perspectives to share that sometimes help people. And got a few helps that I'll share in a little bit about network marketing. 10 years ago, I started a generic school for network marketers, now called the MLM Millionaire Academy, and run that with Jeffrey David Gamble, we co-teach together in that school, and his fiancee, Brandy Pember. And we have been getting rave results, people jumping ranks. It's just the best methods I've ever seen in all of my many years of curating network marketing teachers to present in the school. And actually this Sunday we have a very special guest speaker, Melody James McFarland, who's going to speak about how her team has increased 69% in total volume over the last month, and how they did that in the right way. It had to be right for that increase to happen, right? So she's going to come and speak tomorrow night, and our basics class in the school, in the academy, MLM Millionaire Academy Generic School for Network Marketers. And she's a dear lady that you will want to follow on Facebook. And if you're interested in catching her as a guest speaker, as my guest, just private message me and I'll get you some information to get in on that as my guest tomorrow night. It can be very special. So, okay, enough inviting, and welcome, Tylon. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so the topic today is a message of hope, specifically today about network marketing. And here is, just the message of hope and help. We, like it or not, we are all in transformation. We are all in transformative times. And it's not really easy, is it? There's so much going on right now. And welcome, Lauren. Glad to see you. Glad to see everybody who's popped on here. Thank you. So this is a time when we're forced to we're forced to change, right? And we don't know what kind of change is ultimately going to come about. There's predictions and speculations and everything, but ultimately we don't know how this is going to change our personal lives or our global environment and habits and patterns. And whenever life, and we don't know how long it's going to last, how far reaching and all this stuff, or when we can get back to normal, if we ever will. Life is going to be different from now going forward, right? But it doesn't have to be a bad thing. But when things are unknown, when they're uncertain, we might feel helpless. We might feel out of control because something bigger than us is happening, right? Something we can't really control. We might feel anxious because we don't know what's coming. We might feel worried about the economy. We might feel stuck, paralyzed, or even depressed. I mean, I never imagined myself feeling depressed, and yet that's what I think happened to me over this isolation, this quarantine time. And I would like to share with you how I shifted out of that, how I think it affected me like that and how I shifted out. But I did feel paralyzed. I felt stuck, and I felt, well, why am I not doing the things that I have been wanting to get to? Now I have the time to do it. Why do I not feel like doing it? And so I think I understand that now, and how it shifted for me. So I'd like to share that with you tomorrow. But for many people at this time, and maybe all people to some degree or other, it might feel like life is hard, financially or emotionally. They're facing a lot of things in themselves, which we do when we go into a retreat. This takes trust, patience, and even faith that every experience is for the good. And every change is for the good. And that's been my experience in life. Have you ever, I would just love your opinion right now, just to take a moment and think. Have you ever gone through a change that didn't ultimately end up for the best, for your better, for advancement, for yourself, for other people around you? I'd like to hear that. Has anybody ever experienced a change that didn't ultimately improve them as people, bring about ultimately better relationships? I know that our family has gone through some losses, some deaths, losing people, and I see families come together over that and open up. Their hearts break, but their hearts break open too. And so I've seen only good come of change, even losing a loved one. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. That's a pretty deep topic, isn't it? Pretty deep thought. So my experience that every change is for the better, that God is still in charge. And the other night I had a dream about that. Like, yeah, there's quote negative stuff happening in the world, but still that God is in charge. Some people don't use the word God, they use higher power, spirit, or something else, like that. But I'm just going to use the word God because most people relate to that word. So I like to say, God is in charge. I like that saying. And I like to remember that. I remind myself that all the time when things look scary to me. And I do get scared. I do get worried. I do get anxious because I don't know what's coming either. But I do know that I have one thing, and that is I do have my inner guidance. And I know that I'm not going to be going through it alone because I have the presence of God in my life and also the help of everyone else. And that's what I hope that you know, that I am one of the helpers around you. Why does God allow for negative things to happen? Guess. For our spiritual growth, for who we become, and how we change in ways that we wouldn't have changed if this wouldn't have happened. So that's been my experience, that it's all good. Everything is good, but it's hard to see sometimes. Yet, it's the darkest hours before the dawn. And that has happened to me again and again and again, where things just look so dark, and then all of a sudden they opened up. I lost my little dog of 15 years, my little Charlie, who's some of you saw in the Facebook Lives. And he was a part of me for 15 years. I felt like, gosh, a part of me is gone. And I just couldn't fathom life without him, because he had been so much a part of me for so long. Shortly after that, I found out I was going to be a grandma. So when one door closes, another one opens, and I get to devote my time to a new little loved one. And my maternal self has an outlet, and a huge love connection in my life. So life doesn't take away something without replacing it with something better. And I was just thinking about a baby in the womb before birth, or a butterfly in a cocoon before it comes out. It's dark, it's cramped, it feels pressured, right? And it's totally still and alone, and it's in the dark. And then all of a sudden, it gets out of that cramped, crowded place and gets freedom, gets its wings. Or like my little granddaughter's learning to crawl now. She can get from here to there, and she can go for things she wants. What freedom is that? And a butterfly no longer has to crawl on the ground. It can take to the air. Can take to the air and fly. So, we have to go through that period of isolation sometimes first before that happens. But I'll share my story tomorrow. Today is tips about network marketing. And the hope is the reports that I've been getting over and over from friends. One says that his network marketing business is up 47%. April was up 47% over March. And as I mentioned, Melody James McFarland said she's had a 69% increase in total volume over that last month of April, talking about April right now. James Hendricks says this is the best month he's had in 26 years. Another person, our business was up 45% in new associates joining our team in April. Jeffrey David Gamble and Brandy Pember jumped 2 ranks last month, and they're making, their success and results are just way more than they even expected. And they have people on their team promoting like crazy. What else? I think I've covered some of the reports that came in. Hey, welcome, Steen. Very glad to see you, and welcome, Luya. So follow Steen Rasmussen and the people who are on here, and incredible people to follow. Thank you for being here. So these are the reports that we're getting. Why is this? I spoke on another Facebook Live about why this is a golden age for network marketing, because change is here. People are recognizing that they do need a plan B. And I don't know a better answer. I don't know a better business for people than network marketing. So that is why, even though I am a generic coach for network marketing, that's why I am a very passionate advocate, because I don't know a better method for people to improve their lives. Business that has the greatest return on investment. It's not perfect, but it sure has the best advantages of any business that I've seen. So I'm going to, some people have sent in questions, which this is the Ask Bess show after all, and you're welcome to do that. Some people have emailed me. They're on my email list, and they send an email back with a question for the show. Some people have messaged me on Facebook Messenger or texted me a question. So I bring these to the show and I respond to the questions, and I'd love for you guys too. So the number one question is, when do I have 4 questions here actually, but one, when do I go, when does a person know they should go full-time in network marketing? In other words, when should you quit your job? And I like to say, Jeffrey Gamble and I like to say, when you have no debt, when you have 6 months, he says 3 months of savings. I like to say 6, or actually he says 6. I like to say 1 year of savings in the bank that you could live off of, and that you could have lived off your network marketing business for the last 6 months. In other words, it wasn't just a one-time shot, that you have some consistency under your belt. And some people say 3 months, but we like to say 6 months, that you could have lived off your network marketing income, your bonus check, over the last 6 months. So those would be 3 indicators that we like to recommend and that we teach in the MLM Millionaire Academy. Generic School for Network Marketers. I'll post a link for that, but if you would like to join us as a free guest this Sunday when Melody James McFarland is going to speak about how her team did that 69% increase, just private message me and I will send you the call-in information free that you can join as our guest this Sunday. Yeah, and if you'd like information about the school, be glad to get that to you as well. So it's very, very powerful, very, very good classes. So number 2 question is, should I focus on retail or recruiting people? And this is a person who was looking to do it full time. So I said, you gotta focus on recruiting people if you really want to go full time and really make good money in network marketing, of course, because there's the leveraged income, the residual income that happens when you train other people to do what you do in network marketing. You have to sell your product, of course, or your service. But when you do that successfully, and now you can train other people to do that, you get rewarded for that in network marketing by that leverage income, that residual income, which I have not seen, which is the beauty, the wonderful, wonderful beauty of this business model of network marketing. So you have to recruit people if you really want a big income. Now, I have seen people make a good living, though, with just retailing. One of the students in our MLM Millionaire Academy love to travel and follow the expos and the fairs and the shows and set up a booth and just enjoy life by traveling around like that and making some money at every show, and planned out the stops that he and his wife would stop at, and they sold products, and they did very, very well. However, you make even more if you recruit people. So another question this person had was, can I be in 2 companies? And I actually posted that on Facebook yesterday, and a couple of people actually said, not if you want to really be a top earner, not if you want to really make serious money, not if you want to be a leader and you want to be a face for your company. You can't do that. Can you imagine being a frontline leader, a top earner, and the face for your company in 2 companies? It just doesn't make sense, does it? People would get confused. They would get distracted. But also, how could you build 2? Think of how deep and how much more money and influence you would have if you put all that energy into building 1 deep instead of 2 shallow. So no. You can be in 2 or more companies, but if you really want to shine in 1, you can only build 1 well and 1 deep. So that is the unanimous advice that I've heard from all the top earners in network marketing. Nobody's ever seen anybody excel, become a top earner in 2 of them. So choose 1. Just like you want to devote yourself to a marriage, choose 1. If you want to do it really, really well. And another question that has often come up is, why do people bash MLM? Why do they become haters in MLM? Because I remember when I first became a coach for network marketing, I decided I wanted to do this because my coach, I said, okay, I want to help people. And my coach said, well, you have to niche down. And I said, okay, business. And he said, okay, you have to niche further. And I said, okay, network marketers, because I was one full-time, and I love you guys, and it's totally a personal growth course, right? And I love personal growth. So, and I'm in love with this profession, even though my job in it is as a coach and a teacher and a counselor. I'm in love with network marketing, the profession itself. And okay, I became a network marketing teacher. But then I started researching a bit online and seeing all the people bashing network marketing. And my fiance at the time was actually, I found out, ashamed of me because I was a network marketing coach, and he didn't want to tell his coworkers at his work. He had kind of a prestigious job and all that. And I thought, oh, maybe I shouldn't be in it then because I don't want to hurt our relationship. But then I thought, no, I was really guided. This is a good profession. And yes, there are haters who put stuff out on the internet. And why do they do that? Well, when people fail, they might feel out of control. When they fail in network marketing, They might feel bad, they might feel shame, but they definitely feel out of control. And so hating network marketing is one way to feel powerful again and feel in control. And our anger sort of gets us out of that shame or that depression that I failed, and gets me feeling better. So sometimes anger can be like a coping mechanism to feel better, or kind of an addiction to get out of taking a good look at myself, taking self-responsibility, and saying, why didn't I succeed in this business? Was it because I didn't get the good training, or I didn't put my best out, or I thought it would be easier than, I thought it was going to be easy and not a lot of work. Why did I fail? So a lot of times it's easier to look outside than inside, isn't it? And that's why the haters are out there. It's very much like this time of feeling helpless in the pandemic, of feeling uncertain or out of control or even stuck or paralyzed, because we're reaching for certainty at this time. So some people, we're reaching for efficacy, which is the ability to navigate one's world. Efficacy, we're searching for that right now. We want to feel better. So some people feel powerless, especially when things are complex or overwhelming. So they focus on maybe being over precautious at this time. That's a way to feel in control again, like, okay, I can do this, I can do something. Maybe I've even done that, excessive precaution. Or I want to blame somebody, blame a conspiracy, blame the virus, blame whoever, get mad at people who don't wear masks or anything like that. The anger can help us to feel better and not feel so powerless and so helpless. So it's a lot like the pandemic. This is what people can do when they want to feel in control again. That can be why families lash out at loved ones when perhaps they're ill or dying. The anger might come up because they want to do something about it. They want to, find a cure or blame somebody for what's happening. And just to an extreme, I'm thinking, wow, that's probably why they blamed burned witches at the stake. Back in the medieval times, there would be a plague or something like that, and I'd say, oh, this person is an evil person, so we better burn this, this witch, so that we won't have any more bad luck or bad evil brought upon our people. And they feel like, okay, I can do something. Let me burn this person. Let me burn this witch. It gives them a sense of being back in control and able to do something. So that's a horrible, misplaced coping mechanism, of course. But that boils down to basically why people bash MLM. Of course, some of it could be because people are genuinely spamming people, or just ignorant of how to connect with people, and might jump on them, force information on them. Some of it can be a reputation due to that too. And I would like to welcome, been neglecting everybody here, would like to welcome everybody who's jumped on. Thank you again for watching. Love to hear where you're from. Love to hear your thoughts on this. When do you think people should go full-time in MLM? Do you think they should focus on recruiting or on selling? Do you think, why do you think people hate MLM? Do you think you can be in more than two companies and do well at once? Love to hear your thoughts. And welcome, Gladys. How are you? Glad to see you. Glad to see you. We're talking today about hope and help, and specifically I had some network marketing tips here. But that thought about wanting to be in control, especially when you feel out of control at this time of the pandemic, I was thinking, man, that's probably why I like my process real conversations, because it helps people to find an answer. It's a 4-step. You look at the problem and you uncover the need behind that, and you meet that need. You solve that problem. That's my basic problem solving technique, coaching technique, and it makes me feel in control of my life. Whenever I have a problem, I don't know what to do, I just look and say, well, what is the problem? How am I feeling about that? Because that helps me often to lead to what am I needing under that. Being in touch with our feelings often helps us know what we need under that, and then we find a solution to meet that need. So that is why I like teaching real conversations. I'll put a link below to some free tools for you. And you are welcome to my Tuesday night class, free coaching class I'm making open to everybody at this time, called it's a Real Conversations group coaching class. So you're welcome to come on for people who would like to listen in, feel connected, feel cared about, talk things out, be heard, or even help find solutions for what you're going through. So that is Tuesday night. I'll post the phone number for that as well. For network marketers, our school, the MLM Millionaire Academy, taught by Jeffrey David Gamble and me. Jeff has tons of experience and personally recruited over 500 people frontline, and a whole bunch of other string of of records that he's had and is breaking all the time. I am a generic coach, a full-time network marketer for years, and I bring the personal growth aspect to our school and to our classes. So together we present the best methods that I've ever seen in network marketing. So we'd love to have you be on as our guest tonight, this Sunday, tomorrow night, and just private message me if you'd like to come on as my guest and hear Melody James McFarland tell us why how her team increased 69% in volume over from March to April, and how they did that in a good way that she's happy, their team's proud of. They didn't prey on people's fears. They didn't approach people the wrong way. It was all done right. And knowing her, she was a good role model for that. So I am eager. I asked her to come on and teach us tomorrow night. So we'd love to have you hear her too. So just message me and I'll get you a call-in number for that. And Deborah, why can't I see the message as the other people in the group? Is that something you control? No, Deborah, has anybody left a message? Deborah did. Okay. People I think are listening and not leaving messages. So like Deborah's saying, we'd like to know you're there. I would like to know you're there. So we would like to hear your comments, your questions, your takeaways from today. And Deborah's missing you and I'm missing you too. The Coaching's Tuesday night time with Bess is great. Deborah's been on a number of those. So thank you for that. We'd love to have everybody. And thank you for that comment. So some people just like to watch. We do have a number of people watching and listening right now, but we'd love to hear from you too. We love if you make your presence known. Drop a comment. Did you have a takeaway? Do you have a tip? Do you have a question? We'd love that. And let's keep the conversation going here because I do come back and check in and respond, and we can just keep this going. Love to hear your thoughts, questions, your tips. And we will also see you tomorrow for the Ask Bess show. The topic is From Hell to Heaven in a Moment. And my story and what happened to me about that around this pandemic and around depression, and how I found my way out of that. And not everybody, she said. I'm not sure what that, but thank you, Deborah, for being on, and thank you each for being here, and we will see you tomorrow. Let's keep the conversation going here. Love you. Take care. Bye-bye.